All right, thank you for joining us today. We're here with head coach Kyle Smith, ahead of the National Invitation Tournament. The Cougs are hosting Eastern Washington Tuesday, March 14th at 8 p.m. on ESPNU. We'll let Coach start with an opening statement and then take questions. If you have questions, please use the hand raise action and we'll get to you in the order you do so. We'll let Coach go.
Hey, really honored to be a part of this tournament again, consecutive years. Obviously, with some of the injuries we had to overcome this year, and we were playing so well late, winning 7 out of our last 8. Hopefully have some momentum. Getting to play another team in our region again, program that's had a lot of success recently, and we were fortunate enough to beat them up in Spokane this year. They had one of the nation's longest winning streaks. Their team we watch closely, their style of play, they're a really well-coached team. So it should be a fun game. Hopefully we get some people come down from Spokane and Cheney to watch this thing, and we'll have our loyal home fans here. We won't have the students, but we had a good turnout last year for Santa Clara. Hopefully have the same tomorrow night.
All right, we'll begin with Jamie Vinnick from Coug Fan.
Morning, Coach.
Morning.
Sorry, I interrupted your sip of coffee. I didn't.
Yeah, no.
What do you got there?
It's tea. It's tea. I'm just trying to, I don't want to be advertising for them. They're yet to give me any NIL money. So
fair enough. Obviously, the opportunity to play more games, super important. But when you kind of look at your roster and how it maybe turns over into next year, I mean, where do you kind of see the biggest importance of getting a few more experience, some more experience for a few guys going into next year?
It's a big part of our deal. I talk about all the time, like, hey, we got to be a program that expects to play in the postseason. Obviously, the big goal is playing the NCAA tournament, and we fell off our success last year. That run should have parlayed into, I thought we'd be on the right side of the bubble and, stay in, and that's kind of the next step. And kind of same thing this year. It's almost been a reset with the injuries and that, and just getting that experience playing. There's nothing like it, to get the confidence. So I'll be interested to see our guys that played it last year, how they perform tomorrow night. And if you're able to get the first one, and usually the first half's usually both teams are a little sluggish. They don't know what's going on. And then if you find a way to win that, then there's a certain excitement about it. And we were there last year. So hopefully it'll just keep building.
Is it strange, that you're playing? I mean, I'm guessing it's all geographical reasons, but you're playing a team that not only you play this year, but you beat pretty soundly. And obviously that was a lot of months ago, but that was a game you didn't have Andre. DJ was coming back from an illness. I mean, do you think it's a little bit odd that they kind of matched up two teams that have played and had on one side of the fair?
I'm surprised they did it just because usually they try to stay away from teams you play the same, play previously. But, it's funny. The analytics said that as far as shot quality, it was like a tie game. And we really shot the ball well. We got Jabe got it cooking. He threw in some shots that were, he can get that way. And if Inventors wasn't shooting the ball well yet. And I knew he started to get going in the second half, but they weren't playing well yet. But I thought their talent was good. So it was a dangerous game. And so now they're much better, obviously, and having great run through their league. And, I'm surprised because they did. Irvine's playing Oregon again at Oregon. That did make sense. So I'm not going to tell the NIT now. Like probably Irvine here and Eastern over there might have made more sense, but we'll take whatever they give us. We're thrilled to have a home game.
Obviously you've had all the injuries this year and you've had guys banged up. I mean, are you expecting everyone to play in the NIT, or is there anyone who's going to be maybe kind of shutting it down and trying to rest up for the off season?
No, I think Mo's been having some issues like this hamstrings and that would be the only concern. But it wouldn't be. He wants to play, man. He's a throwback as far as what an awesome attitude, and we've all coached. I mean, under this day and age, some guys that are, that might be a little hurt or nicked up that want to, preserve their. And that's, you don't have much say in that situation anymore. If they, okay. But he really cares about his teammates, cares about the team. So he'll go. AD has had that. I think he's closer to 100 with his hand. And other than that, I think we're in pretty good health. It was about as healthy as we've been. but obviously Mo's pretty important piece. He's kind of do everything through him and being a leader and captain too.
I think maybe the big question for tomorrow is Miles Rice going to play?
No,
No.
no, he'd want to, but I even suggested it the other day, about a month ago, and I wouldn't have probably played. And he has 4 years of eligibility. Who knows how long, health wise, just being out for 2 years playing wise, even if you're really healthy, is going to be some rust on there. So, in today's NIL too, he's probably smart enough to think, hey, a 6-year senior, he's going and whatever the deal. But it would be, I'd love to see him out there and he could help us, but probably a little too much this late in the season for the amount of times he's practiced. But he's looked good in practice when he's had his opportunities, and excited to see him be back with us.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Jerry.
All right, Colton Clark from the spokesman.
Not only making it to the NIT, but hosting a game, how much you feel like that's a nice reward for a team that really played itself into deserving something like this?
I think it's great. I think it's the committee. Obviously, we took on an ambitious schedule. There's no doubt about it. And where our net was, it's close for hosting, and we're right there in the bubble, and they rewarded us for doing that. And I know a lot of people are beating us up for our record against quad ones. And we played a lot of quad ones. It's, Santa Clara was 1-5 against quad ones, and they're like, they're punching, they're in. I'm like, they went 1-5. They're not much better. But anyway, so I think that's healthy for, let's just say that the schedule, I said, being healthy was trying to get us to that next level and playing against the best. And it's been rewarded. We had to win our way in too. Obviously, if we were lost any more than any one of those games down the stretch, I don't think we'd been here.
Did you have any nervousness about qualifying for it yesterday? Yesterday, were there nerves throughout, or did you feel pretty sure you'd make it?
No, I know you don't know me very well. I'm definitely the half empty guy that feel like we've had stems back to when we were at St. Mary's, our best, most talented team ever. We lost in the finals to Gonzaga. We had Patty Mills. We had Omar. So we had the next year, that same team the next year went to the Sweet 16, and we were good, really good. And our best player was hurt missed about 6 games. So, but he was back healthy and playing, and they said, not this year. So you don't know. It can be, who knows what criteria they're really emphasizing. You don't know. That's why I'm always pushing, like, it should. Can we just go off the numbers, whatever, find a good out, I always merit based. If you just did amalgamation of all the algorithms, you just average them out, I think you'd have the right number. You'd have the right teams. That'd be as good as any way of doing it. And there wouldn't, but then they wouldn't have anything to talk about. And Jay Billis wouldn't get to be able to talk about the ACC and the eye test and, how Clemson should have been in there, and Pittsburgh deserves to be in there. And we're ranked higher in Pittsburgh and they're in the NCAA tournament. The ACC was awful this year. So it's just, if it was a number, it'd probably be the fairest way. And if they expanded, it'd be the fairest way too. And I think there's been talk about that, which would be great, in my opinion.
Could you give us kind of the quick scout on the matchup, and how much do you feel like both teams have evolved since that first meeting? Obviously,
they are a different team. I could see it coming a little bit. I'm just glad we caught them when we did. They were still playing 8-9 guys, still trying to figure out who their rotation was. They have the Division III transfer just started playing. And you could see he's going to be a good player, Coward. In the way they play, and similar, our styles are not that different the way we play this year, just kind of, and the more they play together and the longer minutes they play together, the more continuity is there. And they're really smart, really good offensive team. So we don't see anyone like them in our league. They go 5 out a lot. They know how you're defending them, whether you're switching stuff, whether you're showing on stuff, whatever, but they're going to adjust. They just got a really good high IQ team that's really skillful. So we'll be challenged there. You got to bring a great defensive effort to just keep up with them.
How much confidence can you draw from last year's NIT run, and how much is that a talking point? Like, hey, we're playing at a similar level. We kind of did a similar thing last year.
I don't know if the Nuts talked about it. I think it's kind of baked in. I think it's in there. It's like last year was a more euphoria, just not in the sense that I didn't know if we were going to get in. We're just like, hey, we're excited to be there. We're excited to begin. We didn't know, scrambling around playing it. Even this, our preparation, finding out Eastern Washington, that helps. We played them earlier this year, but I just think there's more of a calmness. It's just, hey, we've been here before. There's that's a fact. It's like going from being a freshman to sophomore. You go through freshman year, you don't know what's coming. There's an excitement. You're like a puppy. And now it's like second time around. Okay, we know what's coming. Doesn't guarantee success, but it takes a little anxiety, a little uncertainty out of it.
Thanks a lot. Good luck tomorrow.
All right, thanks.
Any final questions for Coach before we let him go? All right, thanks for everybody's time.